Hola, Houston. Welcome to Viva Magazine Live, where we highlight the people, stories, and movements shaping our community. I'm your host, Blanca Blanco, and tonight we're honoring a powerful legacy rooted right here in the East End. The city of Houston has officially renamed a street in honor of Joe Chaco Ramirez, a man whose impact, advocacy, and dedication to the community continues to inspire generations. The street was renamed after Cesar Chavez, a Latino icon and leader whose name was on the street for many years, and recently, after allegations of sexual abuse by the farm workers leader, the city and constituents voted to rename the street after Korean War hero Joe Chaco Ramirez. Joining us tonight are two very special guests who knew him the best: the late Chaco Ramirez's daughter, Rosana Babbitt, and his granddaughter, Brittany Ramirez. They're here to share personal stories, memories, and what this recognition truly means to their family and to Houston. Welcome, Rosana. It's so good to have you here. And Brittany, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. Let's just get right into it and let's focus on the moment, okay? What I want to know is, when you heard that the street that was going to bear your father's name at that moment, how did that make you feel?
Oh, we were delighted and elated and emotional. We were very emotional.
Yes.
When I first found out, my brother called me one morning, and I was at the senior center, and he says they're thinking of naming the street after Dad. And I just got emotional. I went back to my table of girls where we sit, and I was just shaking. They go, "What's wrong?" And I go, "They're thinking of naming a street after my dad." And so we all were just, cheering and hugging and crying, and it was just very emotional.
Yes. So what about you, Brittany? How did you feel when you heard about it? That's your grandfather, right?
Yes. When I first heard about it, I was so in shock. I was in shock at first, and then I was so elated because I know what a great man he was.
Yeah.
And I was so excited that everybody was going to get to know what a great man he was. And
yes,
I was really excited, and I was like, what can I do to help? What can I do to help make this happen?
Yeah.
What do I need to do? So I was really excited to tell my children.
Yes, absolutely. So what did they think about it?
They were very excited. They started jumping up and down and cheering.
I bet.
My son especially. My son was his little trooper.
Yes.
So my son was so excited. Anything to highlight all the great things that my grandfather did.
Yes,
he was
absolutely. So Rosana, let's begin. For those in the audience who may not know who Joe Chaco Ramirez was beyond the public recognition that he's gotten recently, let's talk about, what was he like when you were growing up?
He was a man of faith, very religious, firm but loving, caring, strict in his values.
Yes.
He always, he was strict on us.
Yes.
But he loved us. We could go to him for anything. He was always there for us.
Yeah.
And anything we needed, we knew we could count on my dad.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, I'm sure people are wondering, where did the nickname Chaco come from?
So nobody alive really exactly knows. All the furthest that we've been able to surmise is that his uncle gave him that nickname when he was a young child.
Yeah.
We don't know why, but it just kind of stuck with him for his whole entire life.
Yeah, well, it's very unusual. I mean, it's unique, let's just say, Chaco, so that's really, well, in the Latino community, a lot of people have nicknames, and they grow up with these nicknames and they stick with you for the rest.
They stick with you for your entire life.
That's right. So tell me, what values did carry through to you in your life that he had?
He wanted us to be hardworking. He wanted us to be, to go somewhere in life, to do something with our life, to help other people, and to take care of family.
Right.
When he was in hospice care, he always said, take care of each other. Your family, you take care of each other.
Of course.
But he was a family man, but not just our immediate family, with all our extended family, which is probably over 500.
Yes.
And he, get-togethers, and we respect. We had cousins that were my dad's age.
Yes.
And we never just called him Pancho or Perry. Cousin Pancho, Cousin Perry, or
always had a title for them.
Always a title before their name, and it was always respect.
Right, of course. Yeah, though that is, In Latino families, you find that quite a lot, especially they respect their elders and they call them by their titles and, you know, tia and tío and cousins and, you know, abuela and all that. Yeah. So what about you, Brittany? What values did he instill in you because you're his granddaughter?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely to serve others.
Yes.
Always. Definitely to get an education, make something of myself.
Yeah.
And to serve my God and my family.
Yeah, right.
And my community always. He was very much into always giving back because God has blessed us so much.
Yes.
And that was definitely instilled in me, my kids. He was always adopting families during the holidays.
Yeah, that's...
And we would help gather money and buy not just presents for the kids, but household items.
Yes.
Sometimes cars.
Yeah.
For families that, you know, always giving back. And he definitely instilled that in us, as us going to go do all of that. Definitely put it on my heart, on my children's heart, that is something that we definitely want to carry with us.
Right, absolutely. I mean, what a wonderful man, and so giving. You know, I mean, you seem to be so giving. So then, when we talk about community leaders, we often hear about their public work and what they do, but it's those personal qualities that truly define them. And you were just describing that he was such a giving person, not only for his own family, but the entire community. So that is what, you know, Joe Chaco Ramirez is known for. I mean, he's very well known in the Latino community out here in the East End. Everybody knows him or knew of him.
Right. He especially liked helping veterans.
Yes.
Taking them to the VA, making sure they got all their benefits. A lot of the veterans don't know all the benefits that they're entitled to.
Right.
And if somebody's spouse died and they were a veteran, my dad would take them, let's go to the VA, you need to get all these benefits. There's so many benefits out there. He was very adamant about helping veterans go and get everything that they were entitled to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And he took joy in that.
Yes, of course. Now, we're talking about veterans. Your father and your grandfather was a Korean veteran. Tell me a little bit about that. How did he come back from the war and all of that? What happened over there?
Of course, in 1953, we weren't born yet, but from the stories he's told us, you know, he was tortured. It was horrible, the things that he went through.
Yeah.
He came back. He was out of the Army, but that only lasted like 6 months. He said he was so used to military life and things were just, the walls were closing in. Mm-hmm. So he just decided he was going to re-enlist.
The only people that could clearly understand what he was going through, since PTSD was not a diagnosis.
Yeah, not back then.
Not back then. Yeah. So the only people that could really understand what he was going to, the only thing that he could speak with them were his brothers in the Army. Yes. And when he re-enlisted and he went to his first post, there was at least 30 other POWs that were in the camp with him, and they had all re-enlisted as well.
Wow.
Because they just were so entrenched in that brotherhood.
Yes.
And they needed that at that time.
They needed that camaraderie between each other because they could talk out those stories that they went through with each other and they would understand it, because certainly us out here wouldn't understand that type of torture.
And those were his brothers.
Yes.
Those were his brothers, and any time he had an opportunity to visit with one of his brothers, he did. He visited, you know, we traveled a lot with him, and, you know, we went to the POW reunions.
Yes.
And it's amazing just to hear all the stories that all these POWs would talk about.
Yeah.
But they all stuck together. They all remembered each other. They all did for each other. I remember the courthouse by my dad's house, they were offering seniors computer classes. So we convinced my dad to take a computer class, and he says, well, I really don't need to take it. And I said, Dad, you have brothers all over this world that you can stay in contact with.
That's right.
So he
learned
the class.
it. Yeah.
He did. They told me he was the first one there in the mornings, and he was the last one to leave. We bought him a computer, set it up at home, and he called me, he goes, Ma, I'm tired. And I said, why, Dad? He goes, I've been on the computer. And I said, well, how long were you on the computer? He goes, an hour, but I'm tired. And I said, well, I'm going to come and see what's going on.
What's up there?
So I go and I said, okay, show me what you're doing that you get so tired. He's going, what? I said, Dad, it's going to come to you. You're going to get faster. You're going to love it. And he loved it. He had a Facebook page, and he got to connect.
Oh my God, he had a Facebook page.
He had a Facebook page. He connected with brothers from all over the world, and he's just learning, and he calls me, he says, Ma, your brother sent me a picture. Call him and tell him to send me a bigger picture. I can't see that little picture. I said, Dad, I'm coming over. I'm going to show you how to make it bigger. I said, it's all good. But yeah, he was into staying in close contact with his brothers.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I'm sure you taught him some stuff on the computer.
Oh yes, actually for a while I was his official poster, his official Facebook poster.
Yes.
He would dictate to me and I would type it up, anything that he wanted to say.
Secretarial.
I was his secretary. Anything, and if he wanted it, I was gonna find a way to get him where he needed to be or get him what he wanted.
Yeah, I'm so glad we're talking about this, because tell me a memory that you remember most about your grandfather. I'm sure there's a lot of them, but which one stands out for you?
The most, I would have to say, is every Sunday. Every Sunday, me and my family would go over to his house and we would have Sunday dinner.
Yes.
And we would talk, we would go through the newspaper, we would talk about the news, we would watch the news together. And then there would be a time, a kind of a quiet time, where everybody just kind of knew that it was just me and him.
Yes.
And that was where we would just sit there and talk about whatever, if something was bothering me, if something was, you know, or just to listen. He was always there just to listen. If I needed a solution, he would give me a solution. But a lot of times I just needed someone to listen.
Yes.
And he would. And then we'd sit there and we'd take a nap. And I missed that. I would give anything to have another Sunday with him.
I'm sure you would. Tell me about you. What special moment stands out for your father and you together?
There's just so many to name, but
I'm sure.
I remember he was my rock.
Yeah.
Anytime, you know, I lost my mother to breast cancer, my dad was there for me. He held me, he hugged me, told me cry.
Yeah.
He helped me get through that.
Yeah.
And then 20 years later, I got diagnosed with breast cancer. And I went over there to tell him. And before I had a chance to tell him, he wasn't at home when I was waiting for him, and he walks in the door and he looks, he goes, wait. And he turns and he lights up this little Virgin Mary he had by the TV cabinet.
Yeah.
He said, I light this for you and I pray for you every day. And I just lost it. And I said,
I can imagine.
Daddy, I have cancer. And he says, he hugged me. We're going to get this. We're going to beat it. Don't you worry. He was just always there.
Yeah.
Always there.
How many of you were in the family?
He had, my brother's the eldest, Joe. And then it was myself. And then I have a younger brother who's passed, Frank. And then my younger sister, Rochelle.
Oh, okay. Got it. So there was what?
Four.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. And all of y'all were close, because that's what he wanted to have. To leave the family when he left that. He wanted y'all to stick together.
Yes. Always take care of each other. Always be close. The house is always here.
Yeah.
Want y'all to get together here and just, you know, take care of each other.
Yes, of course. Well, you know, he is a Korean War hero. So what, did he influence your path or any perspective in life? I mean, how did that occur for you? I mean, did he influence you to, you know, go the way you went in your life?
He just always wanted us to continue our education. So I started court reporting school, got married, and I thought, oh, I don't need to go to court reporting school. And when I told my dad, he came over and he says, you need to go back to school. You need to get an education. You need to be able to live on your own, support yourself, and take care of yourself and not have to depend on anybody else.
That's right.
So he says, please just go back to school. So, and he
gave you that encouragement. Yes.
Yes, and had he not, I probably wouldn't have gone back, but I did go back and finished. And
court reporters make a lot of money. I mean, you know, that's what I've heard.
Yes.
So they're sought after.
So I, you know, I was able to take care of myself, and I was happy that I did follow my dad's instructions. He always led us down the right path.
Yes, of course. What about you? How did he influence you in your life?
Always same, very much. He was very much an advocate of higher education. Always educate yourself. Always learn something new every day, which I pride myself on. I love learning new things every day. So I went to school. I became an attorney.
Wow.
And it was funny.
What kind of law do you practice?
Right now, I'm not practicing. I'm actually at home. I'm on contract work.
Yes.
So that I can be at home. I have a small little one.
Yeah.
And
Understandable, of course. Yeah.
Yes.
They need a lot of attention.
they need a lot of attention. And she's a really wild one. So, but
They all are at that age.
yes. Much more than I had anticipated.
Yeah, of course.
However, it was funny. He actually wanted me to go and be a psychiatrist because he said that there was too many lawyers in this world and not enough psychiatrists for all these crazy people. And I said, I could go be a psychiatrist. I just was not good at the medical type stuff. But he goes, whatever you want to do. He goes, I would like you to be a psychiatrist. He goes, but whatever you want to do, I'm going to help you. He paid for my undergrad out of pocket, and he was always every graduation. Because I have 3 degrees. Yeah. So he was there. He was the loudest.
What other degrees do you have? Oh my God.
I have.
Go get it.
I have a bachelor's in criminology, criminalistics.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have a master's in criminology and criminalistics, and I have my JD.
Wow, that's awesome. So he did influence both of y'all's lives.
Absolutely, and always to give back. So of course, even through law school, he would put together forums at the American Legion Post 472.
Yes.
And
that's what we're going to talk about. Yeah. So what causes or efforts what causes or efforts was he really passionate about? And you were going to say.
Yes, definitely about giving back to the veterans. And so what we did was he made a forum, and he was like, hey, can you and some of your, law school buddies and some of your attorney friends, can y'all come over and talk to the veterans about, the kind of services, because my school was giving away free services. We give away free legal services for our 3Ls. And I was like, absolutely. So of course we all got together and was letting the vets know about what services were open to them, completely free. Yes. Or what resources they could use if there was something if there was an issue that they had that we could not handle, to direct them to free legal services for our veterans.
Wow. He was so thoughtful and thinking of all these folks, because that's how he would connect with the people, right? I would think, yes.
He loved the American Legion.
Yeah.
Right before he died, he says, want to make a donation. So we went to the bank and got 3 money orders, one for the American Legion, one for the Color Guard, and one for the Ladies Auxiliary.
Yes.
And I said, okay, Dad, let's go take it to him. He goes, no, I don't want you to give it to them until I'm gone. I said, no, you need to have the honor to present that check. He goes, no, I want you to go and present it once I'm gone.
And that's what happened?
And that's what happened. He passed. And
when did he pass? What year did he pass?
2020.
In 20, well, that was
COVID.
Yes.
COVID.
He actually helped the American Legion abundantly, because during COVID, of course, a lot of people were not being able to attend meetings, not being able to raise money, and all of that was stopped. So a lot of the scholarships were able to go through, and a lot of things were able to.
Yes.
He also donated a lot to his church.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Wow, that's awesome. Which church was that, here in the community?
Immaculate Heart of Mary on 76.
Yes, that is a very well
attended
church.
We'd call him and say, Dad, we're all getting together, we're going to dinner Saturday. Nope, Saturday's not a good time. I go to church every Saturday. It cannot be, it's either got to be before church or after church, but I'm not missing church. Yeah. So it's, okay, Dad, we're going to do it. Yeah. We'll do it Sunday or we'll do it later, whatever. But he made sure he was not going to miss church.
He was not. What a commitment. I mean, to just be there every Saturday, no matter what, nothing gets in his way. That is so awesome about your dad and your grandfather. My God, he was such a great man. No wonder a street bears a name. Now, you were telling me earlier when we were here, you said that his house is not too far from where the street is going to be named.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
His house is on 68th and Avenue O.
Yes.
And the street name is 67th, so it's a street over.
Just a street over. Can you imagine that? So when are they going to actually take the signs off, the old ones, and put the new ones on? When is that going to take place? Do you know?
We don't know yet. We're waiting to hear. I did get, a friend of mine owns property on 67th Street, and she forwarded me a letter she received from the city of Houston saying that the official street naming was going to take place July 2nd.
Okay. So that's right around the corner.
Right.
After all the FIFA festivities are over, and the attention will be placed on on the renaming of the street. That is going to be
And then
so
we can
awesome.
have a big celebration.
Oh, absolutely. I think the entire community is going to be there.
Absolutely.
Yes, everybody's going to be there. We can't miss it.
No, I mean, and even for my dad's 89th birthday, his last birthday, he was in hospice care at home, and they gave him a birthday parade.
Yeah.
And there was over 100 cars, and it was amazing.
And that was during COVID.
And it was
so
during COVID, yeah.
It was a big deal.
So it was a very big deal for my dad. And after, you know, it all finished and everything, I took him in the house and he says, "Ma, if I die today, I'll be the happiest man on earth," because I never expected this.
Yes. I was going to ask you, what do you think he would say if he knew today that a street is going to be named in his honor? What do you think he would be saying right now?
His first reaction would be, he said that, he would just be ecstatic.
I'm
He would just
sure.
He would just
Can
be
you imagine?
honored.
Yes.
I know
I know your
he
eyes
is.
are
I
getting
know.
teary. Yes.
Yeah, I know he is smiling. I know for a fact he's smiling down.
Yeah.
He visited me in a dream just recently,
Yeah.
and he was just so.
Yeah,
He was so happy.
I can imagine. Yeah,
He
I can see.
he was always a happy man. He never, he was never upset. He never got upset. If I remember skipping school, and my mom says, "Wait till your dad gets home," and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
I thought he's going to beat me with a belt or something. Not that he ever did, but I'm thinking, you know, you're thinking the worst. And he comes in, he says, "Meet me in my room." So I go and I sit at the edge of the bed, and I'm all like, oh my God, which belt is he going to use? And he sits down and he's untying his shoes. He goes, "Ma," because he called everybody Ma for Masita.
Yeah.
"Ma, you know, I never would have believed you would have done this." He goes, "I'm just so disappointed in you. You were my oldest daughter." And just very calm talking to me. And the whole time I'm thinking, get the belt and beat me. This is worse than a beating. It was like, he was never a harsh man. But,
Yes, I
and it was like, he just said words that you're like, I just want a beating. I'll pick the belt.
I know. You'd rather get that than to,
I did for him to just say, and they were simple words. They were nothing
impactful words.
Yes, and it was like, okay, I'm never going to do this again.
That's right. Okay, so we're going to be right back. We're just getting started, everybody. We'll come back and we'll talk about the historic street renaming and what this honor means to the family and the city. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Viva Magazine Live, and here we are. We're replacing a name as historically significant as Cesar Chavez is a very major decision. So, what do you think it means to have Chaco Ramirez recognized in this way?
Oh, it means the world to us, and I'm sure to all of our family, which is a very big family, but she could probably explain it better.
Yeah.
Yes, to our entire family, because of course he had 9 sisters, and they all have a lot of family.
9 sisters.
9
oh my
sisters.
God.
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
And it means the world to know that we all knew growing up, we all knew what a great man he was. And we saw all the great things that he did, not only for us, but for the community. And never wanted recognition. Of course everybody knew him, but he was never seeking out public admiration or anything to that extent. But to know that how great of a man he was, and to know that everybody else will learn and will know what a great man he was, and will have the ability to Google him and see all the great things. In that way, I feel like it's carrying on just such a great legacy, and we are very ecstatic for that to happen for future generations.
Absolutely. So how do you hope that the community receives and understands this change? How do you see that they will respond to this or are responding to it?
Right. I would hope, my greatest hope, I understand that there are people that are wary of change, and there are people that have their own opinions about changing Cesar Chavez Boulevard at all.
Right.
And I understand that. I hope that they would see, they would learn more about him, Google him, and they would learn more about what he's done, what he stands for, the man that he was, and be like, okay, you know what? This man is deserving, and he's not the only one. There are plenty of homegrown heroes, Chicano heroes right here that need that recognition. And I would hope that they would be happy that a former POW, a homegrown Korean War veteran is being recognized in this way.
Yeah, that's right. My father was also a Korean veteran as well.
Really?
Yeah, maybe they were together over there.
They knew each other.
Who knows? Even they might have. Let me ask you this: what does this recognition mean for future generations in your family? I mean, because you know, they're all growing up, your children, and these young, you know, kids that they're all teenagers, some of them, and some of them are small and they're in elementary. So what do you think that means to their future generations to have this in their family?
I think it's extremely important to have this in our family, to be like, wow, you know, somebody in my family was honored in this way, and look at all the things that he did in order to be honored, and be like, well, that's my blood, that's my legacy, and I need to be like that.
Yes.
That's what he wanted us to be. He wanted us to be, you know, always give back, always serve our God, always serve our country and our community and our family.
Yes.
And I would hope that the future generations look back on that and be happy and proud, and that's something that they look up to and somebody they want to be like.
That's right. That's right. And that's going to carry the legacy forward. They're growing up and seeing this and walking that path just like he did. That is so awesome. So I really think now, in my opinion, I think the community has responded positive about this. I mean, there are a lot of folks that come out to support the effort in renaming the street. And so what have you heard? What stories have you heard or reactions that stand out for y'all while all of this is happening?
I just think that everybody, you had a lot of positive reaction. You had a little bit of, not negative reaction, but people were, you know, well, why is this being done, and why him? And but like she said, there's so many people out there who deserve this. Right. And maybe one day they will get it, but right now it's my dad, and this is what it's all about. Let's go from there. And
that's right. And everybody has that opportunity. That's for sure. So, you know, and he was a great man. I mean, look at, he just to reiterate, he was a Korean veteran, a POW, and he come back to help the veterans here to make life better for them. He's come to participate in the community, giving away at the church, and then helping the veterans at 472 and bringing the legal service. So he's done quite a bit. That, I mean, wow. And thank God that we here as a community are recognizing him.
Yes, we.
And this is a great honor. Before we close, I'd like to give y'all just a moment to say something to the Viva Magazine Live audiences. So what do you want people to remember most about Joe Chaco Ramirez? Either one of you can answer.
Well, first off, we'd like to thank everybody, City Council, the mayor, all our family and friends who helped reach this endeavor, because it was, you know, it
was a joint effort. It was definitely a joint effort.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like them just to remember who my dad was. If you don't know who he is, look him up.
Yes.
And find out who he was.
Yes. You can Google him, right?
Google him.
Yeah.
Google him. And
Joe Chaco Ramirez, right?
Yes.
And it'll come up. Yeah.
And I just hope that the renaming of this, not only it brings immense joy to our family, but I hope that for future generations, it brings a beacon of hope and a guidance of sorts to know that we have great heroes from this neighborhood, and that growing up in this neighborhood, you can do great things in the world.
That's right.
And to change it.
That's right. Thank you both for sharing your stories, your memories, and your heart with us tonight. Y'all were awesome, and you're so grateful for the renaming of and having a street bearing your father's and your grandfather's name. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, absolutely. So Joe Chaco Ramirez legacy is not just a name on a street, it is a reflection of service, community, and lasting power of one individual who went out and made a difference. And that's what Viva Magazine Live is all about, celebrating the people who shape our culture and our city. And I'm Blanca Blanco, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Hasta luego, Houston. Tune in every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on your local cable channels: Xfinity Comcast Channel 17, AT&T Uverse Channel 99. Watch full episodes on our YouTube channel. Like, subscribe, and follow us on all of our social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.